and different corporate places. So this was what this person said: best brand in guitars, which I wouldn't agree with, but the worst company in America. Pros: products are cool, not especially well made, but dripping with legacy and coolness. Can't agree more. Cons: senior management, there is only one, and it's Henry. Nothing happens without his knowledge and approval. Nothing, ever. Government raids, yep, for good reason. And the OSHA, I don't know who they are, folks would love to surprise check the place for all the safety violations. Workers are miserable, well, only 95% of them. Advice to management: leave, sell the company. Anybody else would do a better job. My dog would do a better job. Don't think the company is the size it is because of what you've done. You weren't there. If you weren't there, it would be twice as successful. That was written in 2013. That was 5 years ago. Okay, that's 5 years ago. Hopefully I'm going to still be... hello. So, that was 5 years ago. I can't see the screen, so I'm hoping I'm in line here. That was 5 years ago, in 2013. 2 years before Henry brought out this monster, the Les Paul Studio. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I'm really hoping this is going to focus in on there. This is the Les Paul Studio, written by a child, okay, with the font. It looks like someone's won a prize for designing the headstock of the Les Paul, and it was like an 8-year-old child, and he kind of wrote that, and then obviously they thought it was so good that they just thought they'd just copy and paste it straight onto there with a hologram of Les Paul, a hologram in the back of the neck, which they obviously thought that would be really quality. So it's a nice little hologram going on there. And then you've got robot machine heads. Now, these robot machine heads, we all know now, this is all old news. That was forced onto every single player who bought a Les Paul in 2015. Like, every single one. And even when they brought this out, I thought this was the year they were going to go bust, because I thought you can't bring out a product. I'll sit back down. You can't bring out a product that is so technology based that everybody knows that those spare parts are going to be, those machine heads are going to be out of date within 2 years of being made. They're probably out of date now. Can you buy spares for these now? Can you even buy the spares? And I forward thought to the future when they reissue, because this guitar will be reissued, because Gibson will survive this. Gibson will continue. I'm hoping it will. And I'm hoping it will be bought by someone who gives a damn about the heritage, the history, gives a damn about the playability, the functionality, the ooze. I mean, you can't, this is, this reminds me of, I've got to be careful what I say, but, you know, I had somebody who worked for me and took over my role, really, in my old business. And I felt sorry for them, because I actually said to this person, we're on such an upward curve, you can only destroy the work I've put in, which was a terrible thing to say. But I was just trying to make it clear that it's going to take a couple of years to see whether you actually have the building block. You know, you can build this into something even more. Because sometimes the momentum is so strong that actually it's going to take a while before you destroy it. Now, Gibson is like they could have done more. They could not have done more to try and destroy this brand. So those machine heads, there's some pictures on here. I just looked at the latest range of Gibson guitars. Les Paul Standard, £2,999 in hot pink fade. Literally hot pink fade. It's appalling. Les Paul Standard in cobalt fade, like a blue, blood orange fade. These are all £3,000. An SG in bright blue, an SG in hot pink fade, blood orange, heritage cherry fade. It's like a Les Paul Standard, but it doesn't burst all around. It kind of goes into a. They're just awful, absolutely awful, and And this guy is going, oh yeah, it's the dealers. Yeah, the dealers are the problem because they haven't got places to go and try the stuff. No, Henry, you've been destroying dealers for years. You've created a climate of bit trading that has completely forced anybody who gives a damn out of your business model many years ago, like me. With, you know, proper specialist stores that really care, that have the setups, they have the care for giving advice, the guidance. That's all gone. I rang trading standards to see what could be done about Gibson guitars. Before I had my breakdown, I was on to trading standards saying, look, what can be done? And they explained to me what could be done. They said, as long as the manufacturer tells, as long as each line in the chain informs the next. This is the story. This is what I was told at the time. As long as there is clarity between each chain in the retail chain, you know, in that supply chain, there's no backtracking. You can't go back to the top. So in other words, you know, if the manufacturer make a guitar with a broken neck and they ship that to the distributor, as long as the distributor is told, then there's no problem. The distributor then has responsibility of how they conduct themselves. So as long as the distributor tells the retailer, they're covered. All right. Once it gets to the retailer, so what you're doing is it's like a lungs, you know, it's kind of fanning out further and further away. Now you've got all these tiny little separate entities with all of their own responsibility. Well, of course you can't trust that. You can't trust retail, because retail will always take the route of least resistance. And if they can make a quick buck on a broken guitar, unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. But you can't blame the retailers, because the manufacturer was setting the whole thing up to their vested interest, to make profit, to sell broken Gibsons into the trade. And, you know, of course, what they'll say is, no, we presumed that the retailer would sell it as spares or would repair it. And we have retail stores which have got proper working workshop facilities that could adequately repair that and sell it at an honest margin. But that would be a lie, a total lie, because there was no vetting, there was no repairing of these guitars. And the proof of that is, find me an advert that advertises one guitar as had a broken neck and is now repaired and is now for sale. So what, did they never sell any? It's just like total rubbish, isn't it? So I think that's it, really. I just want you to know, you know, so ultimately, Henry, the reason why you're going belly up is because you produced crap guitars for the last 20 years. Your employees absolutely hate working for you. You've destroyed confidence from quality retailers, and you've treated your businesses like with total contempt. I haven't even talked about selling on Amazon, and now you're going to be selling direct, but that's I think you get the idea. So that's it. I can sleep tonight now. I just had to get it out of my system. I'll watch it back and make sure that, well, I'll probably get into trouble, but Jesus. Anyway, but at least people can see why. I mean, I've just got to say one other thing.